There are many advantages and disadvantages as it relates to being a full-time musician as opposed to having a 9 to 5. Bless up everyone, you don't know it's your boy Lee Priest Johnson, formerly known as Ancient Priest. I dropped the Ancient because there were a lot of demonic connotations that was attached to the ancient part of my name, so I use my biological name, which is Lee Johnson, but I still keep in the priest, you understand? So it's Lee Priest Johnson. Today we're going to talk about a musician that has a 9 to 5, and as opposed to a full-time musician. But for those who didn't know, I served as a full-time musician for Lester Lewis for 5 years as a drummer. There are many advantages and disadvantages as it relates to being a full-time musician as opposed to having a 9 to 5. Because as a full-time musician, you have more time. You have more time to practice. You have more time to promote as an artist. You have more time to work on your craft, to work on the weaknesses. So, when you wake up in the morning, you can set your schedule to just practice all day, many friends I have that are full-time musicians, what they do is that they practice for hours, and when you hear them on stage, by the time you say John will start, a lot of improvement, because you can hear it coming out in their playing. You understand? The next thing is that as a full-time musician, you are more flexible. You understand? For shows and engagements, because most of the time you don't have an obligation to no other entity. When you get a call, you can just go boom, I run out. You understand? So you're more flexible. More time, you get some interviews, and it's in the middle of the day. Persons can just call you for any little thing, and you have more time to lime. You have more time to go and kick back and relax with your musician brethren, as opposed to when you're balancing the 9 to 5. Some of the disadvantages though, is that you are so dependent on engagements, on gigs, and shows to earn, and so some of the times, because of that, you make some desperate decisions. You some of the time it's not really what you want to do, but you end up sell yourself short because you can't get a piece of food there. So there is no guarantee of earnings. The corona has proved it. So all of the full-time musicians them who didn't have any savings or didn't have any investment, no shows from March, so it is a very, very unpredictable type of lifestyle or type of profession when it comes on to earnings, because you can get that even before corona, because there are low seasons, because you have a time when you're touring and the next time you don't get no call, you just they're home now, they're nothing. And then some of the times when you even get calls, it's free shows, persons asking you to come and help out, and charity. As a full-time musician too, because you're always trying to get earnings, and because the main disadvantage with full-time musician is earnings, you tend to spend a lot of time away from your family, because you're always on the road. For when I was with Lester Lewis, we're always touring and we're always doing shows, and we are obligated to that cause, because that is where the earning is coming from. So because of that, now you spend a lot of time away from family. If you look at some of the bigger artists, some of the times there's 2 weeks they spend with their family out of the whole year, and it can destroy your family life. You understand? And I think that is why a lot of the musicians they bring their wives with them, and are their husbands with them. They travel with their spouse, and some of the time the children get affected, because you're on the road for 6 months, and they're in school. Some of the times, it's psychologically it can do some harm to the family. A 9 to 5 now is that you don't have enough time, brother. When you do a 9 to 5, you never have enough time for the music. You never. I am doing a 9 to 5 now, and I can't find enough time. 24 hours is not enough. You understand? So it robs you from getting that quality practice that you should get as a musician playing, or even as an artist. It really do something, as because you don't get time to work on your craft, because when you leave work and come in, you're tired. And many of the times, on the weekends, that's the only time you get to work on the music. And then weekends at market with wife, and then church, and yeah, there's just not enough time. You understand? And it also, because we have this dependency on the job, we damage our musical tools. For example, for me, I am a teacher by profession, and when I was doing full-time music, my voice was crisp and clean. And since I started to teach, I tell you, the voice get affected. The voice is not what it used to be. And many other times, I know musicians who they're working in the garage, or they're working on construction site, and they damage their hands. They damage the tools that they need to use and play the instruments. And because of that now, it 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 you don't get, you're not effective as you were once. You understand? And then because of the time again, because at the time when you're not going to spend time for practice, it affects your quality of music that you produce. You understand? The work stress some of the time comes flow over into the music. Some of the time you got rehearsal, and be a chaos at rehearsal, because the work persons are carrying work stress. And then rehearsal will start 5 o'clock, rehearsal will start till 7, because the basic can't come, because him not leave work till X time, and him have to do this and him have to do that. And it just it puts burden on the musicians and the other musicians in the wine team, and it puts burden on the artist. You understand? And as the artist too, it really puts some burden on you when you can't find the time to put into what you love. It gives a sense of unfulfillment, because most musicians, I say all musicians and singers, their dream is to do music full time. And because many times, because of the financial obligations, we cannot do that. Then you feel somewhat unfulfilled, and so many times time is going, you're getting older, and it just seems as if, boy, me really not accomplish what me really set out for. It's like the purpose what God put you on the earth for. You know, really get to accomplish that purpose there, because you're not going to spend enough time on it. You understand? So there is ups and downs with full-time music, and with a musician who does 9 to 5. But the best thing is that anything that you find your hand to do, you do it well. And for those musicians who want to do full-time, God will work it out for your soul. You understand? And me know so God will work it out for me. And then it leads me to my final point. So one of the main advantages with a 9 to 5, as it relates to musicians, is that you get financial security, you get financial independence. You understand? Because when you watch interviews and you hear the artists, telling persons that they had to bleach in the studio, sleep on studio floor, sleep studio doorway, them have got studio go turn shop boy, or whatever. You hear the stories all the while, But when you have a 9 to 5, you can say, alright then, month when I get my salary, I go record a song, and you have a photo shoot coming up, you can say the mountain, I go deal with that. And you can save towards dealing with financing your projects, and financing your music ministry. For musicians, you can say then the bass guitar there cost X amount. Mountain, I go deal with it, or the keyboard there. You understand? You have to depend on people, and really run down people, and people take advantage of you, because you have to wait upon persons. So you can buy your thing when you want, how you want, and you can buy good quality. And then persons respect you more, because they see that you are an independent person. you know. So you can deliver as an artist. The wardrobe is very important. You can have to depend upon the manager to deck you out, or go look no sponsor from the store to deck you out. Say a blazer you want, you just go buy it. See a boot you want, you just go buy it. So that is the cushion that you get from having a 9 to 5 as a musician. Yeah, man. So I mean, 2 cent that, and it's Priest, remember, it's Lee Priest Johnson, drop the ancient. Priest saying, kick it like a ball. I'm out.
Hey, if you like that video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell for more notifications.